Jack was on the verge of freezing to death, yet instead of wrapping himself tightly in his insulated jacket, he trembled as he took it off and laid it over a rock. Then, he removed his thermal shirt, followed by his pants. The temperature had already dropped to a brutal -11 degrees Celsius, and the entire landscape around him was buried in ice and snow. Now completely exposed, Jack curled up into a tight ball, his bare skin assaulted by the piercing wind that slashed at him like a knife. His face twisted in agony as the cold took its toll, his teeth chattering uncontrollably. He desperately blew warm air into his palms, but the fleeting warmth vanished almost instantly. Even so, he never once considered putting his clothes back on. Instead, his gaze remained fixed on the plastic bag clutched tightly in his hand. Finally, he made a painful decision. He poured out the precious medicinal powder inside, replacing it with a bag full of snow. Carefully, he tucked it against his chest and silently prayed that it would soon melt into drinkable water. But as night fell and the temperature plummeted further, the snow inside the bag remained just as frozen as before. Worse yet, his soaking wet clothes laid out on the rocks were nowhere close to drying. Faced with this seemingly hopeless situation, Jack threw his head back and cursed at the sky in frustration. Just then, his eyes locked onto something in the distance, a small cabin perched on a nearby mountain peak, radiating an unmistakable sense of warmth and shelter. In that instant, he was overcome with joy, cheering like an excited child as he stumbled through the snow, completely oblivious to the fact that he was still naked. But could he really make it there in time? After all, everything that had led to this moment was nothing but the result of his own arrogance. Jack had once been a promising Olympic curling athlete. However, his pride and overconfidence led him down a destructive path. He constantly clashed with teammates on the ice, even resorting to physical altercations. His disrespect extended to his coach as well, throwing insults without a second thought. Eventually, he was kicked off the team. But even after losing the sport he loved, Jack failed to learn his lesson.